Hey ho, guys. So, I have watched the interview. Oh my God. I'm trying to get the stream sorted out so I can put it on and you can see me as well and I can see them in the background, but I can't work it out at the minute. So I've got to do it this way. But guys, I can't hold back anymore. I've saw this interview with Mr. and Mrs. Shea. I've seen Chasing the Truth. She's brilliant in this. She's very brilliant. You've got to watch. She's brilliant in this. But Don shows that Candice is lying. This proves it. This proves that Candice had something to do with the disappearance of Summer. So let's go through it, shall we? Now, forgive me if I get very angry, but I've had to listen to this quite a few times. And these people are, well, let's just go through it. Alexa, shut my light. Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
Here he goes, guys. Can you see? Can you hear me okay? Here we go. So let's just move forward from this because this is where it cracks up. So we've got Mr. and Mrs. Shea on the right, and then we've got Chasing the Truth at the bottom, but they're going to swap it soon. Don's going to go into the church.
Police said I'd chipped his tooth. And
right? So
that night and what happened that night with that Jose and whose knee got.
Right, so we're going too far. So get ready, guys. You ready?
Before I got the phone call, and then I had to load my tools up and head to the house as fast as I could. So, yeah.
Right, so he's going to explain. So Chasing the Truth's going to say, ask a question that everyone's been asking. She is so cool, right? But let me tell you, anyone who supports the adults in this situation, you're going to be gravely mistaken. I'm telling you now. Everyone's asking me, who do I support? I support the children. I support Summer and the boys.
In the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked.
So watch their faces when Don says this.
The church, Don?
Okay.
Come on.
Environment, all of the drug dealers that live by you. And
right, now remember that Don and Candice lives here, and Candice is high on drugs, and she takes drugs and she takes alcohol, stoned out of her head. And Don is saying these people are bad and that, yet he allows this woman to take care of his kids every day. Right? You know when he said, I knew something bad was going to happen to Summer? Yeah, of course you did, because you forced Candice to have Summer when she didn't want her. So why did you leave Summer with her? If you knew that Candice was unstable and not safe, why the bloody hell did you leave her with your wife? Send her out to work and you stay at home and look after your kids. It's no difference.
And that.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of people that come around, constant.
So before I play this, guys, I've got to explain something to you. Right? Remember in the first interview and the second interview with Chris, they said they didn't know nothing about a red truck that was parked in their way. Right? Listen to this carefully.
Day and night, all hours of the night, looking for pills or whatever, meth, I don't know, but Yeah, we see that a lot. You know, like the picture I posted of the little red truck. You know, he got stuck there at 3 in the morning, and they're yelling and screaming since 3 that morning. So when I went to work that morning, that's the first thing I was dealing with. You know, but and then until the police showed up, but
Right. So did you hear what he said? I'll just do it clearly as well. Wait till you see Chasing the Truth's face when he says what he says. On the 15th, when Summer went missing, that morning, it was about 3:30, he said in the morning, that he went out there and there was a red truck with a woman. Do you want to hear what's wrong with that? One, they turned around and said there was no truck. They didn't know or hear about a red truck until that interview. Two, he told Chris and everybody else in the interview that he got up at 7 o'clock that day and Summer was in bed and she had her leg underneath his leg. Because Chris said to him, so what was Summer wearing that morning? Oh, I don't know. I got up before Summer got up. I got up at 7 o'clock like I normally do. And Summer had her leg. The time I felt Summer was when her leg. So I got out of bed because I had to go to work that morning. Now he's saying that morning is 3 a.m. in the morning that he went out. And that not only was he out there then, but the police had come up. Because someone had called the police on this red truck because it was parked on the bottom on that corner. I want you to listen to the timelines and everything, right? Don said you can go back and watch Chris Wells's. Don said very clearly, I woke up. I don't know what Summer was wearing that day because I woke up at 7 o'clock. They were still asleep. I felt Summer's leg underneath mine. I got up at 7 o'clock and because I was going to work early. Now he's saying on the 15th, he actually got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to deal with a red truck. Hear me clearly, a red truck. He dealt with a red truck. Now listen to the time, listen to the truck colour, and listen what happens next.
yeah, that's pretty common in that area. You know, a lot of rough characters around there, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Since you bring up the red truck, how did that tip come into play? Was that you that brought that up because you saw the red truck, or did somebody else bring that into play and tell you guys there was a red truck, or how exactly did the red truck come into the picture for
when I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to full start his four-wheeler. And then the police showed up and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, yeah, Mr. Wells just pulled over there, you know, and so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, can I take some pictures? And he said, no problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead. And he started asking him for paperwork. And when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck. And she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But that kind of stuff is constant in our area. And, you know, all kind of stuff going on. You know, I think meth is becoming, well, it always has been, but it's getting worse, I guess. It's a serious problem. I guess it is everywhere. But yeah.
And that was the morning?
Well, sir, I didn't.
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler in there?
Yes. Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then?
Yeah. Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
Did you see their confusion on their face? Voices Behind the Wall, you can see it says The Real Interview with Don Wells, Part 1. So the red truck was there early in the morning. The police already had got the details down of the driver of that red truck. According to Don. According to the police, they're saying they're still searching for the driver of that red truck. According to Don, it was early hours in the morning. Keep listening, guys.
Wow. Well, you already know what I'm thinking, but we can't say it on this, so wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, just for funsies and to give the people a laugh, were you hiding in that shed when Chris did the interview with his wife? Or with your wife?
No, I was actually at work, and that's one of the things that made me mad when he called.
So let me get this straight. There's a 5-year-old child missing. This person has got a rap sheet as long as his arm, and very bad rap sheet. And they find it funny, a joke about a shed. And the only one who didn't laugh was Chasing the Truth. You know why? Because she doesn't find this funny. She knows that it's a 5-year-old child and other children, 3 other children involved in all this. And it ain't funny. There's nothing about this that's funny. Number 2, why would you get angry? And wouldn't you just say, hey, come on, Chris, mate. What would I be doing in the shed? I was at work, mate. Nah, you got it wrong there. Oh, it did? Yeah. Oh, no problem. This guy's a professional. He wanted to see Don's reaction and he got exactly what he wanted Don to do. Guilt. If you weren't guilty, you'd be like, nah, mate, I was at work. Don't be daft. But he didn't. He said, I was angry. How dare you? You backstabbed me. How can Chris backstab you? Just asked you a simple question. If I said to Don, hey, Don, is your Subaru blue? Would he get angry and say, how dare you? You've backstabbed me because my Subaru's red. How dare you? I'm never speaking to you again. You backstabbed me. You made me a villain. How dare you? Because I said the Subaru's blue. Do you see what I'm saying? It's exactly the same. Chris asking him about the shed's exactly the same as if I asked him about his Subaru being blue. Same thing. Keep listening, guys. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Something like that. I mean, knowing that all these people are watching his show, and we let him come up there to our house, and he's going to do us like that. Man, I just thought that was real unprofessional. It really upset me.
Definitely.
If you look at Chasing the Truth, if you look at her, she's thinking. She's taking it all in. She's thinking. She's writing things down. Out of all this, she's the professional one here. These two are mocking everything. It ain't funny. There's nothing funny about this. Saying a game. There's a 5-year-old child somewhere hurting. It ain't funny. It ain't a joke. And the only one who's taking it seriously is Chasing the Truth. She's the only one.
Understandably, because when you put your trust in someone and then they turn around and try and paint you as the bad guy.
Oh, did you hear that? So Chris just decided to invent Candice and Don as the bad guys. They're really good guys, really, guys. They're angels. They haven't got rap sheets. They haven't got people saying stuff. They're not on drugs. They're not bad parents. Chris just decided to pull them out of nowhere and say, that's it, we're going to make you the bad guys. This professional guy that's been going for years, don't get me wrong, I have no interest in Chris, good or bad. If he gets summer, great. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I have no emotions towards the interview room guy at all. I don't dislike him and I don't like him. I don't have any emotion. If I like him, if he gets summered and yeah, what he's doing, brilliant, then I will give him a title of a great guy. But if it all comes to nothing and he doesn't find summer, then he's just like everyone else, isn't he? So I don't have an opinion on Chris at the moment. I'm just sitting back and watching his brilliance of what he's doing. But Chasing the Truth, she is sitting there, she's thinking, she's not laughing with all them two, she's not involved. She's such a brilliant minded person, a cool person. You guys go watch her, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's carry on with Don and let's see him throw Candice under the bus to say Candice is guilty.
And it seems like it's doing that just for views too. I don't understand why he's going after you specifically so hard. But yeah,
You don't understand. He's only doing this for views. Are you serious? This guy has travelled miles to help Don and Candice find their daughter and find out where Summer is. This 5-year-old child. He's left his own children behind so he can find Summer. But don't forget, guys, Don and Candice are good guys, remember? They don't do nothing wrong. It's us lot that are making them into the bad guys. Remember that. We're picking on them. Just say.
not him, so I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of speculation and there's a lot of people talking to him, and it's unbelievable how Facebook, how it is. Anyway, yeah, it's bad.
Dawn, can you tell us if they verified that you were at work that day? Do you know if they spoke to your boss?
I don't know exactly what they verified, but my boss, Richard Tucker, he knows. He talked to me that day. I also talked.
Guys, how can he not know they verified? If you were at work, of course they're going to verify you were at work. They can't not verify you weren't at work because you were at work. So that's what I would say. If someone said to me, did the police verify you were at work? Of course they did, because I was at work. End of. They could not verify because I was at work. But he doesn't. He starts saying, well, that's my boss, that's my boss, that's my boss. Telling everyone his boss's name and everything. What for? Why would you throw your boss underneath so people can start ringing your job up and saying, hi, you Don's boss? Yeah. Was he in that day? What? Was your boss part of all this or something? Was it someone you knew that couldn't have a child and was looking for a child and was willing to pay all money because they tried IVF and that and just couldn't have one, and they would love Summer, and you knew that Candice didn't love Summer? So did you give Summer to another person and get money so Summer could then be loved by someone else because Candice didn't love her? Could that be what's going on here? Just saying. But then why would we get Summer's voice through the spirit box? We wouldn't.
Jamie Killian, he was there. I talked to him for 30, 40 minutes after, that day too. But trying to remember, but I think I talked to Richard about 30 minutes before I got the phone call, and then I had to load my tools up and head to the house as fast as I could. So, yeah. But I think they could tell that day. I was driving a Subaru that day, so I think they could tell by that too, because it's a brand new Subaru. I don't know.
Yeah, they should be able to track everything that.
That's why I think Don took the Subaru that day to work. Stop. That's why I think Don took the Subaru to work that day, because he just said it himself. They could track every move I made with that Subaru. So he knew that they could track his phone and the Subaru. He knew. So that's why he could have borrowed the car. What? What do you want? What is it? You've had your dinner, you've had your walk, what do you want? Right? So Don could have took another truck, so his Subaru would be registered that it was at work all day and not moved.
Happened that day. I think that's why there was a big issue when you said you thought it could have been 5:30. Can you clarify the 5:30? Is that when you thought Candace called you, or is that when you thought you got...
Here we go, guys. Remember what Candice said? All right, I'm calm. He's telling me off because my heart's racing because I'm angry. I'm calm. Remember what Candice said in all the interviews with Chris, with the news crew? Remember what he said? Ready? She said, I phoned Don. Don said, phone 911, phone the police. She said, I dropped my phone, ran to my mum's because my mum had a better signal to phone the police. Yes, exactly. You remember that. I'm staying calm. I'm trying. Listen to what Don says Candice did and how she phoned the police. Are you ready, guys?
at home?
Well, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me, that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what
Get ready.
911 said.
Listen.
It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too.
Did you hear that? Here we go again. Are you ready?
I can't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me, that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too.
Did you hear that? My wife looked on her messenger and managed to verify it too. The 911 police call. She did it off her own phone on Messenger. It's not what she said, guys. All the way through this, she's been saying, I dropped the phone and ran to my mum's phone to phone 911. Very clear in all of it. They haven't changed it till now. Go back and see for yourselves. I'll play it one more time.
I can't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too, around the...
Did you see the look on Chasing the Truth? She clicked on. She's so smart. I really like her, guys. You got to go watch her. I really like her. She's really cool, right? Look, already's figured it out. Candice has been saying all the way through, I phoned Don. Don said, phone the police. I dropped my phone, ran to my mum's phone. She said it again with Chris as well. Got my mum's phone and phoned 911 and called the police because my mum had a better signal because of what was her SIM card. And she's figured it out. Look at her face. It's brilliant. She's really good, you know, guys, honestly.
Thing that happened that day. I think that's why there was a big issue when you said you thought it could have been 5:30. Can you clarify the 5:30? Is that when you thought Candace called you, or is that when you thought you got home?
Well, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me that it was 6:30
Watch their
when
faces.
we called, because that's what the 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too, around the time that she called.
Did you see Chasing the Truth? She's on her own that side. Hold on a minute. Didn't Candice say? Yes, she did. She made it very clear. Me, Mum, and Summer. I'll try and do her voice. Ready? Alexa, put my light on. Right.
Okay.
I'll try and do Candy's voice. Hold on. Let me act drunk and all high. I'll try. Right, ready? Me, Mum, and Summer was planting some flowers. And then she got some candy. And then she said, Mum, can I go and see the boys? So I said yes. So I walked her over, said to the boys, look after Summer. Went back, must have been about 2 minutes. Done my mum's brace. Come back and said to the boys, where's Summer? Where's your sister? Oh, she's downstairs playing with the toys, Mum. Then I went and I shouted, Summer, Summer. She always answers me. She's never not answered me. Then I went downstairs and she wasn't there. She was just gone. So then I called my husband and I said, Summer's missing, come home quick. And he said, phone the police. So I dropped my phone, ran to my mum and phoned her on her phone because her phone was the only phone out there that had a signal. How did I do, guys? Good? That's it. And then she said it to Chris as well. Exactly word for word to Chris. Don has just put her in it. Because Messenger and her phone. Candy's phone, 911 at 6:30 on her Messenger. Now, the police will know the difference, won't they, between a messenger phone call and a 999 from an actual mobile call. So this is probably why the police are sitting there going, it ain't no bloody kidnapping, mate. Look at all the lies that are going on. If you look at Chris's interviews, he says very clearly it's like a chain. And when the link is a bit loose, you get it, put pressure on it so it can then go back to linked so you tell the truth. That's what Chris said. Right? So, who's the weakest link? Don. That's what makes me think Don didn't do this at first. I think he knows now where Summer is. But I think he didn't know at the beginning because he's all messed up. And now he's starting to get on his feet, if you get what I mean. If you look at him, he's got his hair brushed. He's not drunk. He's sober. He's very sturdy and straight. No tears, no emotions in his voice. Whereas before he was constant, going through grief and that. So I reckon he's now come to terms with it because he knows. Let's carry on listening, guys. Are you ready? Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
911 was 6:30. So yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 5:30, but I guess I was just wrong in that.
Well, messing up the time by an hour, I mean,
1
that happens
hour.
all the time. That's
Yeah, messing the time up about an hour happens all the time. But yet you remember what happened early hours in the morning. Oh, but I thought you said that you got out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and felt someone's leg underneath you. And you went off to work and left them stay in bed till later.
like the people are just trying to pick everything apart. And as far as you being like verifying you were at work, I'm sure the police have done that, and people saying that they couldn't verify that, this seems weird to me. Because all the people you talk to and everything, I mean, if the police had just talked to them, they'd say yeah, which they probably did. Like, it's probably just all rumors and speculations.
Yeah, because law enforcement, I checked again today, they say, yes, everybody is a suspect, but they said that everything that...
Well, we're not suspects. Me and my subscribers aren't suspects. Chasing the Truth isn't a suspect. Yet we're involved with the case, so why aren't we all suspects?
we have all come up with on social media, that they have already looked into those. There is no person of interest, okay? I feel like I should repeat that even. There is no persons of interest.
Yeah.
As simple as that. So, incriminating Dawn, I'm not sure what people are trying to do.
Oh, so now we're incriminating him. So we're the ones giving him this. Did you hear that, guys? Listen to this, guys. We're the ones. Us. Me and you guys, we're the ones incriminating them. They're innocent, holy, good Christians that have done nothing wrong in their lives. Brilliant parents, love their children. Give them everything a child should need to grow. Love, care, attention, warmth, safety. And it's all us. We're making them people they're not, apparently. You heard that right, guys? You heard it as well?
They just need a villain.
Yeah, and to say that you were hiding...
Did you hear that? We just need a villain, so we just chose Don and Candies. So did you hear that, guys? Out of billions of people in the world, we've just decided to take two villains and say, oh, Don and Candies can be our villain because they do nothing wrong. Okay.
in the shed and then point out into the past.
Oh, yeah,
where...
Well, you need the past because what you do in the past is what you are in the future. Duh.
you hid from
Because you
the
hid
police
because you had a
once.
warrant. Well, guess what? When he interviewed Candace, you are not a wanted man. You have no warrants out. You have no reason to hide on your own property. So
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
Hold on a minute. Right, sorry about that, guys. Right, ready? So, yep, let's get into this, right? This is fun, isn't it, guys? This is funny, isn't it, guys? According to Mr. and Mrs. Share, this is hysterical, isn't it, guys? We're making villains like it's a cartoon. Like a 5-year-old child isn't missing. Like these children have not suffered and slept in appalling conditions. Whose fault is it? It's the parents' fault. Nobody else's. They've got a brand new Subaru there, £600 a month. Can you imagine what they could do with that house at £600 a month? Plus all the alcohol and the drugs and the pills. Can you imagine? But no, we're just making them villains. They're good church-going people. They're good Christians. Bad people. We're very bad people. We should all be ashamed of ourselves. Right, guys? You know I'm being sarcastic, right? Okay, just checking.
Ridiculous. You know he was trying to...
Have you noticed that Chasing the Truth is not agreeing with these people? She is not sitting there going, it's ridiculous this. She's just sitting back. She's listening. And that's the best way to be. In this interview, she's listening. She's figuring it out. She's like, and she's got it all figured out. She's probably writing things down. She's got it in her head, all of it. And she's not laughing when they laugh, because she doesn't find it funny neither. There's a 5-year-old child missing and 3 boys in care that's going to go through hell. But these people think it's funny. These people think it's a laugh. These people think that you need to go. And I don't care if you like him. I don't know him. I've only met them this time. This is the first time I've seen these 2 people. So I don't know nothing about them. But I'm just judging them on what they're doing here. And as far as I'm concerned, they're on Don's side by the sounds of it all. Which is the biggest mistake. Because the only victims here, the dogs and the children, that's it. All the others, all the adults there are there by their own choice. The children and the animals aren't.
Talk about the whole knee situation and who got hurt the night in October when the Jose guy was there, whatever the situation was.
See, this again. Who got hurt? Why is that important? How about, did you find out where this Jose guy slept for them 2 nights he was there? You had Summer in bed, and everybody knows that if you've got your little one in bed with you, they're not going to sleep in a different bed unless you sedate them. Are they going to sleep in a different bed? They're going to still want to sleep with you in your bed, especially when her daddy's away. So wouldn't you be more worried about who this guy is and where was he sleeping with your children? Or am I just crazy here? Shouldn't that be what you're asking him? When you went home, wasn't you worried where did the guy sleep? Did you ask where the guy slept? Did you talk to your sons and your daughter about this guy? Did you say to your wife, well, where did he sleep? Because we know that he slept in Candice's house, but where? Which child did he sleep with? The bigger boys upstairs on the bunk beds? Because there's no way the boys could have doubled up upstairs on the bunk beds. Not with their weight. So did he sleep upstairs with the boys? Did all the boys sleep in Candice's bed with Candice and he sleeps upstairs on his own? Did they sleep all together? Did Candice sedate all the children with a nice warm milk and a nice drop of sedation sleeping meds in their drink? And then when they all fell asleep, they did what they did? Just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I'd be asking. If I came home and there was a strange guy and there was no room for my children to sleep, to have a strange guy sleep, I'd be like, who you? Where you come from? Stay there, I'm calling the police. I want to know who you are. I want to know what your background is. Where were you sleeping? Where was the children when he was here? That's what I would be saying. Sod who hurt the knee.
Can you tell us a little bit again? Sorry you have to repeat this again, but can you tell us about that night and what happened that night with that Jose and whose knee got hurt?
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Candace wanted me home So she made up, she made up the story that she had moved the guy in, and she didn't say anything about him or anything else. She just let me speculate that she'd moved the guy in. So of course
So, guys, don't you think this Jose guy will be pissed off? He's come all the way from New York with his mates. He met Ali. They started having fun and laughing stuff at Candice's and that. Then Candice flirted with him and that, and then he decided to go with Candice. Ali went home angry. Don comes up. He knows exactly, Jose knows exactly where everything is because he was there for 2 or 3 days. We don't even know how long he actually was there for. Candice says 2 days. Ali says 3 days. But it's given time to find out where the lay of the land is, how many doors, how many exits there are and stuff, where the bedrooms are, where they all sleep. Wouldn't you be pissed off if you got threatened? What if Candice for the 2 days had turned around to Jose and say, "Oh, he loves summer. It's just all summer. Summer, summer, summer. He loves it to bits. If anything happens to me, nothing. If something happens to the boys, nothing. But if something happens to summer, it would cripple him." But has this Jose guy got revenge? And if he has, then he's a sick get and needs his throat cut. But at the end of the day, it's still Don's behaviour and Candice's behaviour. But they've put this strange man that they know nothing about in the middle and then let him go without knowing where he lives, who he is, what he's done in the past. Has he got a criminal record? I can't stress it enough, guys. They've put these kids in so much danger. At every turn, there's danger. I'm just saying. It really wrecks my head when everyone's asking about a bloody adult's knee when there's children vulnerable right there with a stranger coming into the house. I'd be more asking, like, did Candy sedate them poor children? Did this guy know she was sedating them? Did they wait till she was sedated and then went and done something to them children and they don't know? He could have had a field time if they were all sedated and drugged up to their eyeballs. How would we know? How would the children remember if they were heavily sedated? It's what makes me sick. It's what's making me angry right now is the fact that they're talking about a goddamn bloody knee. When there could have been child abuse, there could have been children hurt that night, them nights that they were there. They could have been sedated heavily. But they're worried about a bloody knee. Who hurt their knee that day? I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Flew across the country as fast as my little truck would take me. And, I got there, and the first day, everything's okay. But the second day, we decided to have a few drinks, and stuff. And things started to get heated. And
so when he got there the first day, so he's already been there 2 days without Don. Then he's been there that day when Don was there. Then the next day, they had a few drinks and stuff. So he was there 4 days. Are you telling me the guy couldn't see around the house and figure out where everyone was sleeping, everyone was lying? And where the bloody hell did this strange guy sleep? Candice's mum has only got a single bed in there. That's all she's got. One bedroom with her bed, that's it. You've got Don's bed at the bottom, a double mattress over the other side, and 2 lots of bunk beds according to Chris. So where the bloody hell did that guy sleep?
Jose, his wife had messed around on him, I guess, and he was kind of taking it out on me with questions and stuff or whatever. But I told him, me and Candace have had our problems, and we've worked through that and worked it out. And, but she thought that I was in Utah. I was at a party, and I told her on the phone that I'm at a party. We're getting something to eat. Called the cops, and That's how the police got involved. And then Jose told the police that I chipped his tooth and on and on. And then they told him about the powder gun I had in my glove box because I keep that gun in there for the safety of my kids. I felt that was important because I knew it was.
Did you hear that, guys? He keeps a gun in his car that he takes with him for the safety of his kids. And yet he saw a man that their mother brought in, who's drinking, taking drugs with the mother, a stranger, and no room for him to sleep. But he uses the gun to protect the kids. So what happened that night then, Don? Why didn't you protect your children? You knew what your wife was like. There's no way she could have done anything with them kids awake. No way, because you'd be told. So she would have had to sedate them children. And I know because we went through this when we were kids, being sedated. So it's a crock.
Somewhat dangerous around my house, but I had no idea how dangerous it was, But anyway, she went to the judge and she was crying in the courtroom. So the judge called her in his chambers, and she told him she made a huge mistake and she just wants me out. And so the judge let me out. He OR'd me actually with gun charges, and I thought, because I was facing some serious charges, but he OR'd me, and so
So it's the judge's fault. If that judge would have put him inside for them charges of carrying the gun and that, instead of feeling sorry for him, would Summer be alive today? Could that judge's decision sealed Summer's fate? Or could that judge's decision actually kept Summer safer for that little bit longer? Tell me down below what you guys think.
Worked it out and everything, and I pled out to a misdemeanor charge, and me and Candace worked everything out. And when we got to talking back to where I was, there was miscommunication. We didn't she thought I was partying. No, I was just trying to get ready to go. I was at my sister's party, but I wasn't partying. So it was a misunderstanding. But we worked it out and we forgive each other, and that was that, pretty much.
So at any time, did you ever put your hands on push out of the way, move out of the way, grandma?
No, she was outside. I'm gonna try to get this. I broke my camera. I apologize. That might be a little bit.
It's fine on our end.
Okay. No, she was outside by her trailer. I mean, I think she was standing in the doorway maybe, but I wasn't focused on her. But no, I never touched her. No way. And I would never hurt. I wasn't intending to hurt Candace either.
Go on, say I would never hurt Candace when we've seen the bruises, mate, on the photographs of Candace and the kids.
Just trying to get her basically off of me because I wanted to hurt Jose, but I didn't.
Well, as a guy, I can definitely understand that. You want the woman out of the way because you're thinking you're about to start fighting this guy. I mean, it's always get the women out of there because somebody's going to get hurt.
Did you ever see Jose again after that?
No, because that night that I went to jail, and this is one thing I respect Candace's mother for, she told him to load his stuff up right now. He is out of there, and she took him to North Carolina.
Can I ask you, why was Allie staying at your house for an extended period of time when she doesn't live that far away from you guys? And can you explain, were your wife and her in a tiff? Because it seems to me like you knew nothing about that. So can we get into that also?
Right. Yeah. So when I left for Utah, I was, I had a good job down there, and I was wanting to move my family down there. And so I guess when she went,
1 minute. That's sorry about that, guys. My 9 o'clock call, my safety call. They'll phone back in 2 hours. Okay, are you ready?
to Wisconsin or wherever she goes, I can't remember where her mother went, but
So did you hear that? I can't remember where a mum goes. Is it Wisconsin? Not being funny, but if Candice, right? If Candice, yeah, I'll take my medicines in a minute. If Candice, right, his mum goes all the time up to see her so-called grandkids, although we've just figured out in the last few days that it's not true, that they don't, then Don would know. Don would know if Candice's mum goes away or not, wouldn't she? Let's carry on with this. It gets better and better, guys. Listen.
to help her sister, I think it's Illinois actually, and helped her sister for a couple of weeks. And when they come back, Allie and them got together and they wanted to stay there for a while. And I don't know, do whatever women do, I guess.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah, and
Guys, I know this is going to sound stupid and maybe it's not me, but could have Candice and Ali had an affair? And is that why Ali was upset? Because it wasn't Ali actually wanting to date Jose, but Ali wanted to have relations with, just the thought of it, Candice. Is that why she stayed? Could be. Put it down to could be.
the kids all together, and the other two.
Hold on a minute. If all the kids were all together, so you had 2 females and older girls and boys, where would they all sleep? So at the time, H would have been 14. And he's got sisters and brothers a bit younger than him. Where would they all sleep in that small house? And where would Summer sleep? That doesn't make sense. That's the first time we've heard that. Keep close eye, guys.
Girls that they have there, and some are like, them girls and everything. But so I guess I don't know how this Jose got involved or how he ended up there. He come from New York, and so I guess some people dumped him off after they used him up for his money. I don't know, but I have no idea. But it don't sound good. I know that, but I mean that's all I know. But,
Okay, now everyone wants to know the lie detector tests. Who took the lie detector tests? Who passed them?
yeah, at first.
So let's get this straight. Right? So, according to these two, Mr. and Mrs. Shear, Don's a truthful, God-fearing Christian, right? And he wouldn't lie. So he wouldn't say, oh, we failed twice or 3 times. He would be a good, honest Christian and tell the truth and say, we failed or we passed. You wouldn't ask that question. See, if I was interviewing Don, That's not one of the questions I would ask, because you know it's coming out as a lie. We passed with flying colours. Of course we did. What I would say to him is, how long was it when you last had a drink before you did the lie detector? Who did the lie detector test? Which company? How many questions did they ask you? Because if he says 3 or 4, then we know he's lying. If they've only done it... Right, so if he says he's done it twice, he's lying. Because if you listen to that expert in Police Off the Cuff, they said they have to do at least 3 or 4 times to find your baseline. Because everyone's baseline's different, they ask you simple questions like, are you wearing a tracksuit today? Are you wearing glasses today? So they can build a baseline. So then when they ask you the serious questions, they'll see the baseline change. And he says you have to do it at least 3 to 5 times to find the baseline. And you can't be on drugs for like a week, or alcohol, or any medications. You have to be off everything for at least a week. But then if you're addicted to any of that, you would be in severe shaking and shock. So no matter what, you wouldn't be able to do the lie detector. So them two wouldn't be able to do the lie detector, because the alcoholics, they drink heavily and they take drugs and they use sedation as their choice of drug, if you like, to continue with stress. So for them to not be able to take or have anything for 2 weeks would make them too ill, would give them the shakes, would give them the sweats. They'll be going through withdrawals. So how did they do the lie detector test? The experts said there was no way they would have chose them to do the lie detector test because of the amount of alcohol and drugs is in their system. They would have to go through rehab first. Just saying. You can look it up. It's Police on the Cuff. Look it up. Everything I'm telling you is everything that's on YouTube. Because I can't read, so I can't read it on Facebook. That's why I don't do Facebook. I know everyone wants me... I've got a Facebook account, but I don't use it. So everyone wants me to do Mr. Angel's Facebook account and stuff, but I might have to get someone to run that for me. Because like I said, I can't read. So I'm word and number blind.
At first, Candace couldn't take the lie detector test, and neither could I, because we hadn't slept in days. And they wanted us to take the lie detector test, so you have to be real calm.
So did you hear that? The only reason why you're listening, guys, because they didn't sleep for days. That's the only reason why they couldn't do the lie detector test. In the UK, we have a show that we used to have a show called Jeremy Kyle, and they used to do lie detector test, and they used to tell you that it's only 90-something%, and they also tell you that you can't be on any drugs, you can't be on any narcotics in any way, shape or form, painkillers, anything like that, and you can't be on any alcohol at all for like a week before you take the test. But according to Don, this company he's gone with must be superb and has got a new lie detector. Amazing, guys.
And everything, and they wait like 25 seconds in between questions. So when they ask one question in 20 seconds, you're going to be falling asleep. You got to be perfect.
So he remembers about 20 seconds. He remembers about the rules of the lie detector test. But he can't remember if it was 5:30 or 6:30.
Perfectly still and everything. So me and her, either one could even take a lie detector test. So I went back the next day, took the lie detector test, and I was told that I passed. And Candace...
Did you see his face? I was told I passed. Yeah, right.
Her nerves were so shot and everything that she couldn't take a lie detector test. They had to wait like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, have her.
Chasing the Truth is writing everything down and watching his face and stuff like that. She's so cool, you know, guys. I'm telling you, you should go watch her. She's funny as well.
On a Monday
I love
or
her
maybe even a
accent.
Tuesday to take her lie detector test, and she took it and finally and passed. We never failed
Of
the lie detector test. We
course,
just
of
couldn't
course,
take a lie detector test.
of
Did Brandon
course.
take one too?
Yes, and she passed also.
Can I ask how long after was like when did they ask for the lie detector test? How long after Summer went missing did they ask you to do this?
Immediately on me and Candace. Yes, but
So
We'll have to ask Chris about that.
I mean,
Or
I think
police
they
off the
waited
cuff.
3 or 4 days maybe, because I know we didn't sleep for the first 2 or 3 days. We couldn't sleep. That's impossible. But so yeah, when they finally got us calmed down and sitting still in that chair, and you're gonna doze off, so it was impossible to take the test. But I took it the next day and passed. She waited.
Guys, remember he's in his church. So all my Christian subscribers and Catholic subscribers and all my religious subscribers, and would you lie in a church? Oh, sorry, am I making a victim out of him? Remember, he's in the church, okay? Just remember that he's in his church.
I think 3 days and took hers and passed.
I think that's understandable.
Yeah, no parent is going to be all calm and well rested after something like this happens, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to June 15th. You're at work. You get that call from Candace. From the best of your knowledge, what time was that and how did that go from that call? Do you remember what she said? And kind of let's go on from there a little bit.
Okay, so she calls me, and I can hear the fear and anxiety in her voice. She's terrified. And so I'm thinking, well, she's probably just around the house. That was my first thought. But I told her, well, hang up from me. I'm thinking in my mind, I told her, just call 911 just in case. So
what did she say to you? I can't find her, or
yes, I've looked everywhere. I've looked everywhere. I can't find her. She's not here. And I said, well, hang up and call 911. And so she hung up. I threw all my tools in the back of that Subaru, and as soon as I got in the car and started down the road, I called 911, and they transferred me to Hawkins County, I guess, and I told them what the situation, that our little girl's not there, and then after that I got back on Messenger and called her and talked to her through the whole trip. I think it was 30 minutes. I'm not sure. But like 30 minutes, I was able to talk to her on Messenger.
Guys, how can she phone the police on their messenger if Don was talking to her on the messenger all the way back? Can you do that? On Messenger, because I don't have Messenger, I have Skype. So on Messenger, can you comment down below? On Messenger, can you call 911? Sorry, I'm in the UK. Call 911 and be talking to someone. The reason why I'm putting on Chasing the Truth is she's very smart. Look at them two. They're just believing everything. Yeah. But she's quiet. She's in the background. She's writing things down. She's a brilliant person. I would call her a sleuth. She's really good. Really good. She's missed her calling, to be fair. I think she should have been a police officer. But the reason why I like her is because she's just there for the kids, for Summer and the boys. She's not on anybody's side. And she's not on anybody's side but the children's. And that's what I am. Everyone has their sides, but mine is the kids. They're the victims. No one else. No one else in the story. Just the kids and the dogs. That's it.
Her all the way there, and she was in her mother's truck driving everywhere looking for her frantically around our house. So when I get there, I'm still a messenger with her, and she's still not found 30 minutes later. So I drove directly to the bottom property and down all the way down to the creek. And I see my three boys together down by the creek over on this side. And then on the left of me is my neighbor walking around. And my heart sunk right then and there. And I knew she was gone. I knew something happened. I knew something, something. So I drove back out of there and went to the top of the house, and there wasn't no police there yet. I don't believe there might have.
So he said there was no police there. But in his interview to Chris, he said he had to show his ID to get onto his property because the police were at the bottom there.
In a car too. I just can't remember it for sure because everything just, happens. I don't know, but there might have been a cop or two there. I just cannot remember. But it seems like there might have been.
So he can't remember that, but yet he can remember what happened that early hours in the morning. He can remember that a woman had not combed hair. She lied back down, was asleep. The cops come down. What he did, he pulled to one side. What the colour car was. What time he left. What time he went to work. Although, again, the timelines don't fit. One, he said to Chris and everyone in the interview, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. He got up. What Chris said, what was Summer wearing? I don't know what she was wearing. She was asleep. All I could feel was Summer's legs under my legs. And I moved over slowly and got out at 7, got dressed like I normally do and go out. And he's just said there, it's 3 a.m. in the morning because he had to go really early to his job.
But after that, all these trucks and trailers with four-wheelers and stuff started pouring in, and police, and they actually blocked or bottlenecked Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road. You couldn't get out or in or nothing. It was a nightmare. They just kept asking us all kind of questions. They looked at our phones for the timeline right then and there to see. It might have been the next day, I'm not sure, but they looked at our phones, and he got the 911 calls and all that and wrote all that stuff down. And that's about it. I asked them if I could go look in my car or whatever, and I tried to leave, and I couldn't even get my car out of the driveway.
Now, according to what he said to Chris was, I asked them, could I go and interview the druggies? And then said, could I portray as a SF? Is it SA? SA. Could I portray as one to find Summer?
I think the next day, I'm not sure that I can't. It seems so. I don't know. But I finally convinced him. But I got out and went talked to, or I shouldn't say his name, but I talked to him about people he might have known, seen coming in and out and stuff like that. But he'd been moving cars all day, so I don't know. It was hard to. It was bottlenecked, so couldn't do nothing.
Okay, people are wondering, why did you choose to drive the Subaru that day? Why not your work truck?
Oh, because the Subaru, since the boys have been out of school and everything, I was just sitting there, and I'm paying quite a bit of money for it. And I thought, well, I might as well get some use out of it. I'm wearing out my truck, but I'm pretty hard on vehicles, so I decided just to drive it for a while. That's all. Put some miles on it because it was just sitting there, really.
Yeah, why not go to work in a nice vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, my boss commented the day that my boss commented that day that Summer went missing, just before I got that phone call, he was making fun of me. He says, "That's a hell of a car to be putting a bunch of damn drywall tools in." You know, he was just giving me a hard time. You know, that's how he knows where I was, you know, like because of that.
Yeah. Oh, and one real quick question because of the vehicle thing. Grandma's car, Candace's mom's truck there, did it have a topper on it?
Yeah, it's got a topper on it, yes.
Okay.
So,
I heard both, so I just want to make sure.
is there a red tote or something in the back of the car, or what?
Nope.
I was looking at that picture earlier today because somebody commented on that, and I believe that is a red tote or something. Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think I might have got that wrong. When I was looking at it, I thought you could see the back of the tailgate, and then whatever that red thing was like outside the truck. Like I thought it was maybe like a vehicle that was parked kind of sideways behind them, but I didn't know for sure.
I didn't either. I tried to pull it up, zoom it in, and I couldn't really tell, to be honest with you.
No.
So people are then questioning why, when you got home at 6:30 or whatever time, so if you called 911 at about 6:29, were you already on your way home, or how long did it take you to get home after calling 911, do you think?
I'm not sure because I talked to her that she had that messenger call, but I was passing traffic, double yellow line. I almost lost it in a curve. I was going as fast as I could possibly go. I was speeding like crazy. You know, I'm really not sure, but I know it's a 45-minute drive normal. So I don't, you know, I probably made it in 30, I'd say.
And you were pulled over, weren't you, on your way?
No.
Okay.
No.
I heard that. Okay.
Right. So, in Don's statement to Chris, he said very clearly, I got pulled over, but when I explained to the police officer what was happening, he said, slow down, and thank God he let me go. He was a good police officer and let me go, because he could have had me done for speeding, but he just said, slow down, you want to get there alive. And I'm not going to pretend did it happen, didn't I? I know that's what he said, because I made it very clear in my head to keep that clear, because that was the first time the police officers would have seen him coming home at that area. Right? And they would have registered it. But he said he let him go. But again, they're making excuses. At least Chris didn't. Again, they're saying, oh, it's just I heard different. No, you didn't hear different. Don told Chris that. It was in the interview. We heard Don say it. So why don't they say that to him? Hey, Don, we heard you say that you did, though. You said that you were driving fast. The police pulled you over. You told him, you explained that your daughter was missing, and that's why you were going fast to get home. And he said, well, slow down because you need to arrive there alive. What? I'm calm. He's telling me because I'm getting anxious. Sorry. I just don't like it when people sit there and appease him. He's an abuser. Stop appeasing him. If nobody knows what appeasing is, I'm calm. Yes. I'm calm. It's Alexa, put my light on.
Okay.
Guardian telling me off. You telling me off? I'm calm. Alexa, switch my light off.
Okay.
He doesn't want my blood pressure to drop or my sugar levels. Right, so what I'm saying is they're appeasing him, meaning that they're just agreeing with him because they want this interview. Now they're accusing Chris of that, and these are doing it. Why don't they say, well, hold on a minute. Here's the thing about Chris. Here's what you said. That a police officer stopped you because you were speeding. You told him that your daughter was missing. You had to get home. And they said, slow down because you've got to get there alive or you'd be no good for your daughter.
That was the Utah drive.
Oh,
Oh, what was that?
I said that was the Utah drive when you were driving too fast. You got pulled over then, not when you were driving home to get to Candace.
Yes. Yeah, I was in Kansas, and there was nothing out there. You know, I was in Kansas, just flying.
No, you were in Kansas because you were driving through Mexico and not because you were drug running. That was a totally different thing. Listen to Chris's interview and watch the reading thing. For you guys who can read.
And because I was thinking, you know, Jose and Candace got something going on there. So I'm flying home, and that cop was just right by.
So you're flying home and a cop stops you because you're speeding, doing like 70, 80 on a 30, 40 mile an hour road. And you're telling the cop, oh, I've got to get home because my missus is about to sleep with a Jose guy. Oh yeah, no problem. You carry on going and kill people. Don't worry about that. Just so you can get home and stop your missus from having an affair. No problem. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where he come from, but boy, he snuck up on me good. He got me, but I told him what was going on, and so he gave me a big break and let me go.
So that police officer should be sacked. Don was speeding to get home to stop his missus sleeping with a guy and could have killed people on the road. But that police officer said, yeah, it's fine. Carry on going.
He gave me a ticket, but not as big as a ticket as I was going. So I'm sure thankful to him because it could have been pretty bad. But,
okay.
Don't you feel, guys, it's almost like destiny was trying to get Don put away to save Summer? Isn't it like, you know when they say, they say, if you pray, God will come and save you and all this lot. What if Summer was praying to get out of this? She'd had enough of this life. What if Summer was praying and in her prayers was, please, 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 I want a better mummy and daddy. I want a better life. I don't want to be bullied by my brothers no more. What if Summer was praying for that and then they were sent down? It just seems to be that Don seems to be dodging jail quite a lot in the next few months leading up to Summer's disappearance. Was this destiny trying to help? Was this the spirit world trying to stop the 15th from occurring? Was the last attempt the police car and the drugs and the red car? Was that the last attempt? For the spirit world to try and save Summer that day. The police being there and that might have stopped Don. Could it, guys? What do you think?
So now another big thing is people are saying, so when you did arrive there finally, why did you not go up to the driveway first? Why did you stop at the shed first? Did you go in the shed, not go in the shed? Or just why did you not go directly to the house and talk to Candace right away? Explain that.
okay. The reason I went to the bottom property first is because I knew that they were looking all over around the house and in that area and everything. So I figured, you know, by the time I got home, the best place that I could go would be directly down to that creek. I didn't even stop at the shed. I went by it, but I went down that steep bank all the way down into the creek with that little Subaru. And when I seen my boys and I seen my neighbor, that's when my heart, my heart just sunk right there, and I just knew something was really wrong. You know, so that was the beginning of this pit in my stomach that hasn't went away yet, and it's not going to, I don't believe. But so then I turned around, went back up that bank, and I might have looked in the shed at that time. I can't remember for sure, but I know I looked in the shed at some point. But I went back up to the top, and I do believe there might have been a cop car or two there at that time, but I'm not sure. I can't be positive on that. I'm just so mixed up and everything at that time.
Well,
One thing I'm sorry. One thing you seemed always super sure of, Dawn, was that she would never leave the property. She just wouldn't do it. And you guys reference her swing a lot. Why do you reference the swing? Was that like a boundary area for her? Did you guys say don't go past your swing? Or why was Candace mentioned it a few times too? She would never leave past her swing.
Well, she would go. She may not have. I mean, I've seen her go to the edge of the property. I mean, not to the edge of the property, but to the edge of the lawn. But only like if the boys were down there, or something. Like the boys went down the creek one day together, and she went halfway down the hill, but she wouldn't go all the way. I mean, she was very leery. We tried to tell her or teach her to be very leery because we do have some wild bears. There's been a lot of bears spotted, and we know there are creeps around there, but we just never thought that one would, lay in wait and try to grab her like what has happened. But especially midday, not midday, but it's daytime. I don't know. But I've tried several times. I've snuck up. She'd be behind the vehicle, just sitting there playing. And so I'd sneak up behind her or on the other side of the truck, and I'd sneak up on her, and I'd scare her.
Uh-oh, your sound went out again.
Sorry, Doc.
You're going to have to message him again. Oh, poor guy.
StreamYard is kind of hard on phones. Some phones that they just don't like it. I don't know what it is.
It's really bad on my phone. It's awful.
Yeah.
I get kicked out of my own StreamYard on phone, so I don't bother using it.
That's what started happening on mine. Like I just
really
in the middle of a live, everything's fine. All of a sudden, poof.
So
I heard the Melon app is really good.
What are you thinking so far?
My heart's breaking for the guy.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
He seems very.
He just seems broken.
He does.
It's just their lives are ruined.
There's wild animals and other things. We I don't want to. Sorry.
It's okay.
We call them meth heads, meth monsters, whatever. So we knew that was it, but I probably shouldn't say.
Can I ask you a question, guys? If you take drugs, or your wife is a drug addict, you've been a drug runner, do you then have the right to call people that are addicted to drugs names? Like meth heads or smackheads or drug addicts, or do you have that right, filthy monsters, stuff like that, when yet you drug run and put these poor people in that position to get on drugs? And your wife is one of them. Are they that delusional that they believe that they're above all these people? Let me know in the comments down below.
Because people tear that apart, and sorry. But yeah, bears, and I've snuck up behind her. She'd be behind the vehicle, just sitting there playing or whatever, But I'd sneak up and I'd scare her. I'd scare the daylights out of her, trying to teach her, that. And yeah.
That's not abuse. Your child's sitting there peacefully playing, and you're going to sneak up behind her and frighten the ever-living daylights out of her so she can wee herself, so you can teach her. Wouldn't it be better if you educated her on, like, sitting her down to watch TikTok or watch YouTube, and sit her down to explain what brown bears do and snakes and what kind of snakes to look for? Wouldn't that would be better to educate the child? than frighten the shit out of the poor baby. I don't know. You guys tell me. Am I just crazy here? Do you think that's more pleasurable for him to frighten the poor child? Or do you think it would have been better if they educated her, shown her pictures of the bears and stuff, and and of the cottonmouth and stuff, shown what they can do, show them what they look like, that although they're fluffy and cute, not to go up and cuddle them because this is what they can do? Wouldn't that be better than to show her, to sneak up behind your poor little girl when she's playing, sitting there playing with her toys, happy in her own little world? You come up behind her and boo her and frighten her to death. Jesus. If that ain't abuse, I don't know what is. I don't know, guys. Comment down below what you think. But I think that's ridiculous.
Don?
So if you were trying to teach your kid not to touch, say, a fire, does that mean you make a fire and then stick your kid's hand in the fire? Just grab him and throw him in the hand in the fire? Oh my God. If she's allergic to peanuts, what's he going to do next? Right, you're not allowed to have these peanuts because if you have them, it'll make you sick. And then shove a load down her throat just to show her what it's going to be like to be sick.
What's your best memory thinking right now of you and Summer, off the top of your head, the best memory you have of her?
Well, just before this happened, she would always want me to hold her hand where she could twirl, and she.
Right, guys, they've had 5 years. Repeat, 5 years of this child's life. They've got hardly any pictures of Summer up when she was a baby, small. They've got 3 or 4 at the most, but mostly, I'm calm. But mostly it's to do with more closer to the time. Have you guys not noticed that? Take a check of all the pictures that they've got up and see how many of baby Summer. I think there's 1 or 2, maybe 3 of young baby Summer, and the rest, and young boys, and the rest is like more up to date ones. That's just a bit weird.
Sit there and twirl and twirl and twirl, and until my arm got tired. I'm like, man, Summer, come on, I'm getting tired. I've just been working all day, you know. And one day she come running in. She was running, and she come running in, and I just put my hand on her back and on her chest, and I felt her heart beating. And I'm like, man, Summer, your heart's beating so fast, you know. And she just always had that smile and just, oh my gosh, just.
I do believe Don loved her, or thought he loved her unconditionally. Because if he's not shown love, I suppose he doesn't understand. I mean, I got shown love from my service dog. I understood what love was from a service dog. I got my first cuddles from a service dog. So, and I like fell asleep cuddling with my service dog. So I do understand that you don't understand it and it takes a little bit of time. But, and I do believe he loves Summer. But I do believe if Summer grows up in his care, Summer's going to be badly abused. He's going to see her as a partner more than a daughter. Because he keeps calling a young lady beautiful, smile. And 5-year-olds are cute. They're not beautiful, they're cute. Women are beautiful. Young ladies are teenagers. Summer's a baby. She's 5 years old. Why does he see her like she's a teenager? She's not. He says she's clever for her years. No, she's not. She's a 5-year-old baby, a child, not a young lady.
I mean, I was always at work, constantly working so that, you know, they could have a life. We never got.
So he was constantly working so they have a life. He was paying £600 a month for the Subaru, plus petrol, plus petrol for his car. I don't know if America has insurance and tax like we do here. I think we're the only ones that have a tax. The car. Yeah, I'm sure we're the only ones. And they drink, and your wife takes drugs, and she smokes. So where is it you're doing it for the kids?
Assistance, food stamps, or whatever, or anything. So
No, you just had all your friends buying the food for you and feeding your kids.
well, I was always working, constantly, but just. But any time that me and her went anywhere together, she was my pride and joy right there. Everybody, I miss her so much. Oh my gosh.
I believe
I can't
that.
even.
I do believe he misses her with everything he's got. But I believe at the beginning he knew nothing about this. But I believe he does now. And I think he's trying to save Candice. He's trying to save the boys. That he's got hope to at least see the boys now. I personally don't think Don planned this with Candice. As far as I know. I could be way wrong. I do believe he believes he loves Summer. I believe he believes he worked hard for them kids. I really do believe he believes it. I don't believe it, but by what I've seen, but I believe he believes it.
Imagine.
No, me either. Me either. Do you regret working so much, Dawn? Do you think you missed
Well,
it?
How about saying, hey Don, do you regret leaving Summer with a mother who didn't want her? They never bonded. The grandmother was upset because she was promised Summer and then you refused after Summer was born. And you knew Candice was high on drugs and drinking and taking whatever that twisted, whatever it is, that smoky stuff is, that drug that she smokes to get high. And leave your children in their care. Why couldn't Don stay at home and Candice go to work?
Well, I take my boys to work with me all the time and stuff. It's just that she wasn't quite old enough yet. It wasn't quite safe enough for her yet to, in a couple more years, I would have probably been teaching her how to spot nails, but she just wasn't. I've had her out on a few jobs with Mom, but they'd always leave, but they can spot nails, you know. Like that airplane ride. I don't know if y'all seen that. We done the drywall in that airplane hangar, and that guy, he come in and asked if he could give it a ride in his airplane. I'm like, I wouldn't let him miss it, So that was pretty awesome.
There was a rumor that the kids went to work with you that day. Somebody mentioned that the boys were at work with you that day. Is there any truth to that?
No, nobody. They weren't to work with me that day because I fired Dudley the day before. I fired him, and he was just.
I'm okay. I'm
problems
okay.
at my job. He was driving around there and calling my boss constantly. So for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but no, that one of my boys weren't with me that day. I didn't take them very often, and they really don't like to go, because it's kind of boring sitting there spotting nails all day. So, but they kind of
They want to run free.
Yeah, some of the jobs, where it's more open and stuff out in the middle of nowhere, they can just go out and play on a dirt pile. They love that. So, it just kind of depends on the job. That particular job there's a lot of houses it's a subdivision, and you got a lot of bosses and important people running around, so you can't take a kid at one of them places. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Um, but some of them jobs you could take them to, and they could really enjoy the property and whatever the people were doing with it. You know what I mean? It's just
Blah, blah, blah.
I think, if I remember right, eventually come in, but that was about it. So we don't know where they go or what they do, but we're not gonna.
So were they around at the time that the police had shown up then to take your guys' report for Summer missing? Were the dogs there then?
No, they weren't there, and these dogs are like, they don't know when to bark or.
Right, so Don's trying to portray that his dogs are different from everyone else's dogs. His dogs are calm and chilled, and no matter what happens, if someone's screaming, these dogs won't do anything. Any dog expert will tell you that that's not true. Number two, if the dogs weren't there when Summer was missing, it meant that they were at Summer's side, either with her body or where Summer was. So if they would have followed the dogs, they probably would have found Summer. Just saying. My experience is like 99.9% on point with animals, especially dogs. And I'm telling you, yes. If I would have gone missing, you would have come looking for me, wouldn't you, boy? Would you come after Mummy if Mummy went out? Alexa, put my light on. Watch this, guys.
Okay.
Guardian, if Mummy went out, would you come looking for me? Guardian. If Mummy went out, would you come looking for me? Are you ignoring us because you're on camera? Guardian, everybody's watching you. Do you want to say something? What do you want to say? Oh, you're looking at Don. What do you think of Don's speech? Yeah, it's about what we think of Don's speech as well. Yeah, innit? My good boy. He's such a handsome boy. Right, guys. So let's carry on with the end of this. We're nearly done. Okay. Actually, you can watch the rest of this, innit? So, God, I'm going to say hello to people. Go on then, say hello to everyone. Say hello. Say hello. So, what do we think, guys? Isn't it, again, it's changed again? Comment down below what you think on that. Tell me your thoughts. I really would love to hear your thoughts on everything. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to any new subscribers. Yeah. Thank you to all the old subscribers, and thank you for the ones that are coming. And you guys, stay safe from me and Guardian. Keep our fingers crossed. Keep your family safe. Keep everyone safe. Catch you in a while, crocodile. Say bye, Guardian. Say bye. You gonna say bye? Do a handsome picture. Ready? Good boy. Okay, I'm gonna put him to bed. Okay then. So, see you in a while, crocodile.